thought I'd tell you another one of my little sketch ideas, mate. Now it'd be, I mean, working title, but the use it or lose it fairy. And I like the idea. Probably would have to be animated, because it'd be a horrendous thing to act out, and I don't know if you would get anyone to agree to do it again, really. So it probably would have to be a cartoon. But the idea is, this dad comes into the bedroom, you know, say goodnight to his son, tuck him in and that. But you can see the son's getting a bit old for that now. The son's, you know, for like 10 or 11, he don't want to be tucked in anymore. And he's like, oh, good night, Dad. And he's like, now remember. And now maybe he's an old man, an old dithering man. Maybe this is funnier if he's an old dithering man, and his son's like in his 40s, and he's, you know, you see him pull up. There it is, mate. There it is. What you see. So the scene starts with you see an old man driving his car, and maybe you see him driving and that, and it's not funny. Nothing's funny. He's just listening to the radio. Something mental that I've already recorded for something else. And then he's driving along, and then you see him park up, and then we go to another sketch, and then we come back, and it's the same old man, and he's dithering towards, like, with a walking stick, and he's shaking, and he's got a bit of Parkinson's, and now he's getting on, he's old. And he lets himself into this house, and he goes upstairs to this other man in a bed, and you think, oh, okay, maybe they're gay or something, you know, and you're like, oh, right, okay, where's this going? Maybe you think to yourself, oh yeah, it's made by Netflix, so, you know, they've got to get it in there. And then he just sort of pulls the quilt up on the man who's in bed, and the man opens his eyes a bit freaked out, you know, he's just been asleep, and he looks at him, and the old man leans over and goes, now son, don't forget, just wanted to say good night, but don't forget. And the dad's looking at him going, oh, go away, Dad, go away, no, I don't have to be in work till the morning, why are you here, go away. He's like, I've just come to kiss you good night, lad. Now, don't forget to masturbate, boy. If you don't masturbate, they'll use it or lose it, fairy will come and take it away from you. And the dad's like, oh, come on, no, come on, the man, the son, is like, oh, come on, Dad, go away, don't be weird. I'm too old to believe in the use it or lose it fairy. Come on, you know that he's not real, Dad. Oh, now, don't be like that, Jerry. You know, she came to me and she'll come to you. You've got to remember to touch yourself, Jerry. Like that, and the son's like, oh, fucking go away. And then you see this woman comes out of the bathroom, and she goes, oh, fuck off, Frank, get out, Frank, fuck off. And it's his wife, you know, and he's like, oh, I don't like you, Ginny, you're ruining this lad, you're ruining him, he needs to ejaculate, Jenny, don't be mean, like that. And he gets all frustrated and that, and he leaves, and he goes, don't say I didn't warn you. And then a couple hours later, you see him again, and it's clearly a few hours later, and he's at home, and he's there smoking a pipe, and that proper old make him look overly old, innit? He's smoking a pipe, and he's struggling to send a text, telling, you know, to his son, saying touch yourself with a kiss, and he's there puffing on his pipe as he's texting, and he doesn't get a response, and he rings, and there's no answer. So then he goes to bed, and he thinks, oh, maybe he's had a wank and fell asleep, and he goes off to bed then. And then he gets woken up by loads of phone calls, and there's hammering at the door, and you're like, what's happened? And the wife's like, you'd never believe it, you've done this, you've done this, Terry, you did this to him, or whatever his name, Frank, you've done this, Frank, you know. Maybe that's the wrong. I don't know if it's funnier to have that, and then and the police are ramming on the door, and he's getting arrested, and then does he, when he's explaining what happened in the police cell, in the police interview room, does he then explain what the use it or lose it fairy is, or is it funnier to see like a thing that comes up, a little title that comes up saying later that night, you know, then it goes back to to Jerry in bed with Ginny. Jerry and Ginny, shit names. And this like sort of looks like a tooth fairy, but a bit overweight, and she's got a bit of stubble, you know, because she's the use it or lose it fairy, and she's got a little bag with her. Actually, no, she'd have to be bigger. So basically, the fairy is just the guy who played the dad, the big dad, the old man. It's just him in a fairy outfit, right? But with a big bag on his back, like a bow saw sort of thing, or like a Grecian knife, like you'd use to graft a tree, you know, cut like small stems off trees. And he climbs in through the window, like he floats through the window, like flies up and goes in, because he is the use it or lose it fairy. He just happens to look like the dad, and that's why the mum's blaming him. The daughter-in-law is blaming Frank. And then he just fucking pulls the sheet down and looks at his son's penis, and he's like, "Oh, it's a shame." And he sings a song, you know. I don't know. I'm fucking trying to think of a song. I haven't thought of the song yet, but you should have took him from like something like you should grab it by the base when you took it by your hand. I don't know. Like, so it sounds like "Oh Mickey." Maybe he just sings "Oh Mickey," like, "Oh Mickey, you're so fine, you are fine, you feel my by name Mickey." He's just singing that because a dick can be called a Mickey, and like maybe he goes through like a montage of different songs, and just you know, like that just one cornetto song, just one. But I don't know what a word would be that sounds like penis to do with cornetto. I don't know, but songs like that, you know, like sort of bits like that. See, this would be better if I'd thought of this far ahead, but I hadn't thought this far ahead with the little song. Maybe I'll think of something and we'll have that at a later date. But anyway, he's getting about singing these songs and his lights flashing and disco lights and that. But it's all happening in like an alternate dimension. Like to the people are still asleep, and then he gets the knife out and he starts like cutting the dick and balls off and popping them in his bag. And then just as he just starts getting a blowtorch out and heating up the knife, and the blood's pissing everywhere, and he's heating up the knife with the blowtorch, and he's just as he cortisones and sterilises the wound with the piping hot knife and blowtorch, the Jerry just stands up and screams, going, "Ah!" like that, you know, fucking warbling his throat and stuff. And Ginny wakes up, and he's just tapping, and he stands up and he looks like Smiley from Happy, you know, and he's just smooth like a Barbie or an action man. And he's like, oh my god, he was telling the truth, he was telling the truth. And like panicking like that, and then the wife just catches in the garden, catches a glimpse of what looks like the dad running away, like looking over his shoulder dressed as a fairy with this bag of, obviously like a bag of other people's dick and balls, and then just vanishes into the distance, like goes behind the van and then disappears, you know. And then she rings the police, and then the guy gets arrested. So I don't know, maybe you could probably stretch that out to a whole fucking 20-minute thing, though, couldn't you? So it's like an episode of something. But I mean, especially with the songs. But I just thought it'd be funny. But I don't know if it's funnier though, if it's not the dad doing it, and it is just like a regular age dad, like a 35, 40-year-old talking to like his 10-year-old son, who's, you know, his 8-year-old, you know. It's got to be an age where it's normal to start masturbating, but weird for your parents to clock on that you've started masturbating, so like 10 or 11 or something. Like obviously that sort of age, like you see at the birthday party, and they're like, right, remember you've got to now masturbate, Billy, you know, otherwise the use it or lose it fairy will come and take it away from you, like that, speaking like Jimmy Savile. And then you just see this cartoon fairy coming in, and you don't actually see it happen, but you hear like the severing sound and throwing the finger, like a little sausage gets thrown up in the air and lands in a bag, and then the fairy like vanishes through the wall, something like that. But I don't know if that's funnier. But I think the other way, the original stuff I told you there, was funnier with the old man, and it's his adult son living with his wife who don't put out anymore. But I thought that was good. I like the idea of that. But for the song wise though, I don't know what the songs would be. I do like the "Oh Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey Mickey," like that, and it's just the dad singing into what's obviously a sausage, but looking like it's his sleeping son's penis. and he's just leaning over like that singing, and there's like disco lights going on and that, and a disco ball drops from the ceiling and stuff. You know, I don't know what other songs you could have though. You could have Carry On My Wayward Son, but it's cutting off his dick and balls, like that, and he's just singing all different bits like that, and each time he's singing a different song, it's like a different theme to the room, you know. I think that would add something to it. I think that would be quite good. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. The use it or lose it fairy.